All right, I'm with super lightweight sensation Tito Mercado. Got a big fight coming up on November 11th in Ontario, California. How you doing, Tito?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Excited for my next fight.
Yeah, last time we spoke, you're 11 and 0, or 12 and 0, 11 knockouts. The last time we spoke, you were like 8 and 0. This is your fifth fight in 2023. What's going on?
Man, I just like fighting. I like the activity. I'm not like, I'm not judging other fighters. I don't know if other fighters have certain, things going on in their life for whether they can't fight or not. But I'm the type of fighter that likes to fight. Like the old school fighters that like to fight pretty much damn near every month. So that's the type of fighter I am.
Yeah, we talked about that old school mentality the last time we spoke, and you kind of had a rough and tumble growing up, right?
Yeah, I would say kind of a little difficult. I mean, obviously, there's things I had to go through. Whether it was with my father's lifestyle, and then obviously growing up in Pomona it's a lifestyle that could, if you're not focused, you could definitely get off, derailed real quickly. And just to be able to always stay focused and be in the gym is kind of been my blessing and saving in a way.
Yeah, and your dad, wasn't he a fighter also?
Yeah, he was an amateur fighter. He never went pro, but he was an amateur fighter. Like I said, he just got caught up in a lot of street stuff. Just unfortunate things that sometimes is inevitable sometimes. But all we could do is learn from it, and he helped me definitely not go to that path.
Yeah, and I know you had a sensational amateur career, Olympic alternate, or 300 plus amateur fights, multiple national championships. Do you feel like that amateur background is what has led you to the success as a pro, or what is it exactly that's, you're a knockout artist too, 11 knockouts, 12 fights?
Yeah, I think that definitely helped out a lot. I know a lot of fighters now they try to rush into the pros, with a little bit of amateur fights. I feel like having as much amateur fights as I did, I feel like I was able to adjust to any style. I kind of seen everything, and I kind of it was just easy to make the transition. I feel like I'm able to adapt to anything because I kind of seen it already. And as an amateur, obviously the pro is a little bit more. I would say a little bit more difficult. Obviously, you got eight on the glove, so you got to be a lot more cautious and make sure that you should know what you're doing. You know that you've seen everything. So for me to be able to have that type of experience, it definitely helped me out a lot.
Yeah, and now, I mean, 140, I mean, it seems like every couple months, the hottest weight division in boxing keeps adjusting.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 135, 168 a little bit, 154 started getting a lot of buzz. 140, though, is stacked. I mean, Ryan Garcia is now up there, Teofimo, you got Haney and Prograis. I mean, your name isn't out there yet, but I know you feel like you can be in the ring with those guys any day of the week.
No, most definitely. I mean, there are a lot of great fighters in that weight. Obviously, I feel like I could hold my own in there with them and obviously beat them. I mean, I think every fighter that's in the same category as me in the top, they feel the same way, right? They all obviously we all feel like we can win against one another, but just to be able to think about and then eventually get in the ring with those guys eventually one day that excites me. To be able to have that opportunity and to show people who's the best, and that's the thing that really motivates me in the gym.
Now, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think the last time we spoke, you felt these guys were soft.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fighters. They just, like I said, man. I feel like I grew up on that old school stuff, so a lot of them are just focused on the wrong things and different things. They're not focused on the sport, just solely the sport no more. I'm focused on just boxing. A lot of these guys are focused more for attention, Twitter, social media. So I feel like, or drinking, partying, all that. I don't do none of that. So I feel like that's gonna give me definitely the upper hand, once we get in that ring, and they're gonna feel that once they get in there with me.
Yeah, and I know you weren't signed with a big time promoter. I think were you on the Thompson boxing cards?
No, I was never on the Thompson
Oh,
boxing
you weren't
cards.
on Thompson, okay, even though you're in the same general area. But where do you stand today? And obviously, Showtime Boxing has gone by the wayside. As of
Right.
the end of the year with an announcement today. But where do you stand? Are you looking to sign up with a big promoter so you can get into some of these fights?
Yeah, I mean, it just all depends, it's just whatever's best for me. I can't really say too much because like boxing's a sport that is always switching, right? So always constantly, whether it's weight classes or what's going on with the market, like HBO leaving or Showtime. things are always changing, so I can never really say, for certain what's gonna happen. But I'm definitely looking forward to the big fights, and however I can make that happen, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and you've already been in there with, like gatekeepers like Hank Lundy, guys like that. How much longer do you feel like it's going to take? Like, you think, I mean, I know you feel like in your heart you can jump in with any of those guys today, but I know there's a business part of boxing, which
Right.
you alluded to. How much longer will it take for you to get some of those guys in the ring?
Um, like I said, man, all depends. And even when it's your time, sometimes you get guys that are able to avoid their mandatories, or, get fights or jump up weight classes, right? Go contest for another weight class and then come back still with their belt. So it just really all depends. But, I feel like realistically, obviously it's my last fight. Hopefully maybe sometime next year. That's what I'm hoping. But I feel like obviously I feel like I'm ready now.
Right, right. And you're only 21, right?
Yeah, I'm only 21, so I'm still young. I still got a lot left to go.
Right. But it seems like this generation, I mean, super fights are starting to happen. I mean, you had Tank and Ryan, although Tank is, 27-ish and Ryan's 25, so a little bit older, but it seems like bigger fights for younger fighters are starting to happen. And I'm sure you recognize that.
Yeah, no, and that definitely excites me. That's the I feel like that's the time not only where boxing was getting the most attention, but I feel like it just I don't know, it just makes it a lot more. At least for me, it makes it a lot more motivating in the gym to know that I'm gonna fight guys that are gonna push me to my limit. That's the things people want to see. I remember I like watching boxing at least around the time like maybe like 2010 and down, where these guys were fighting the best. All these guys were fighting the best. Miguel Cotto versus Pacquiao, fights like that where it was entertaining, and that's when I like to watch boxing. Now it's like now you see YouTubers fighting against pro boxers or YouTubers. I don't know. To me, it's kind of downgrading the sport a little bit, and I want to bring it back.
Yeah, and listen, man, I mean, you're not a household name yet.
Right.
But these guys that we're talking about in your division, I mean, 300 amateur fights, Olympic alternate, they all know you,
Right.
right? I mean, you've been in I mean, who have you been in the ring with, out of the top guys?
I've been with a lot of prospects, like guys like Charlie Sheehy. Never got in the ring with Keyshawn, but me and him have some personal history. Guys from the zone like Aaron Aponte. I've been on there with a lot of guys. But unfortunately, like you said, a lot of these guys know me, but they're just I think a lot of them are glad that my name's not out there yet, so they don't have to get put in the spot when they, get asked about me. So obviously it won't be that way for too much longer.
Right, right. Definitely on the rise. And I saw, because I don't know if you recall, the first time we spoke, my wife's from Nicaragua,
Yeah.
Managua, and her sisters grew up going to Alexis Arguello's house and selling them candy and so forth. I saw you had a fight in Nicaragua, in Managua. I should call it Managua, Nicaragua,
All right.
in July. I know your dad's from Nicaragua. What was that experience like?
It was great. I fought in Nicaragua before as a amateur for their to qualify for the Olympic team over there. So I was the representative for them. Obviously, I didn't end up going because the whole COVID thing kind of shut down. But yeah, no, to fight as a pro there, it was great. I got a lot of love, support. It was great, honestly. The only change that I would have made was, maybe having a training camp in Nicaragua first, because over there it was really hot and humid. So when I got in that ring, I'm not gonna lie, I was after the first round, I was like, damn, I was tired. I was like, after every round, I was asking what round it was. I was like, I was really tired. But no, other than that though, it was great. I had a lot of support. Definitely would do that again. Obviously, you just learn from your mistakes, right? Obviously, you make certain changes. I like fighting out of country, especially my home country, because it gives I feel like it gives you more. You get fans that don't have the opportunity to come see you in the United States, right? You get everybody kind of a chance to see you, and it was definitely fun, and to fight a guy like Soliksani, who fought against guys like Devin Haney and give him a competitive fight, to be able to beat him, it felt great.
Now you do know that back in the day, and I say, like in the 80s, they were fighting 15 rounds
Yeah,
outside of Caesar's Palace in Vegas in 100 and something degrees. So, but
yeah, no,
but you felt the heat though.
yeah, no, the heat, and it's real humid over there. So obviously I'm not used to it. No excuses, but I felt like that made me learn a lot about myself. I had to really push and deep down, because the guy know what he's doing. He was, I think, 31-2 at the time, so
Hmm.
he knew what he was doing, and I knew how to really dig down deep because I knew he was coming trying to win. So I definitely learned a lot about myself that fight, and I'm hopefully, planning to use it, for this next fight upcoming and my future fights coming forward.
How did you get on a card in Nicaragua? I mean, how did you make that happen?
Well, a lot of people follow me out there, but we have a connection with Rosendo Alvarez, who's also a Hall of Famer from Nicaragua, and he was more than happy to put us on. And we've been talking for a while. We've been wanting to fight Nicaragua. We didn't think it was gonna be so soon, but to be able to get in there and they received us with open arms and everything. Rosendo was very hospitable with us, and I had a great time.
That's awesome. And I've been there a couple times, and I know that heat is brutal. So I hear you. Now, coming up, they just had the press conference today. Devin and Regis Prograis out in California, San Francisco. Do you have plans to go to that fight by any chance?
Yeah, I might go to that one because I think it's in December. So I think as long as I don't have a fight, a last minute fight coming up, definitely be in attendance for that one because obviously it's guys in my weight class, it's guys that I have my eyes on. So most likely, and it's in California. So I mean, 6 hour ride over to San Francisco, maybe go visit Alcatraz after or something. That'll be I think that'll be something that I'll look forward to doing.
Have you ever been to San Fran? Have you ever been up there?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I've been there a couple of times to fight, spar out there a couple of times. So I kind of know I'm familiar with the city.
Got it. Who do you like in the fight?
I honestly, I got Regis on that fight. I
Really?
do. I feel like based on his last performance, a lot of people are gonna kind of side with Devin Haney, especially the way that stylistically the way he fights compared to the guy that Regis just fought. You would think that Devin Haney would get problems, but like I was telling the other reporters, I feel like Regis fighting in his hometown, all that pressure, that could affect the fighter mentally. It really does. I know it affected me a little bit in Nicaragua, a little bit fighting there. Obviously, I'm not accustomed to it. A lot of pressure. You got people, so you kind of change your fighting style a little bit. You don't fight 100% like you should. Same way like Canelo did with Ryder. He didn't look as great, but look what he did to Charlo. So I feel like I feel like that's what it is, and I feel like they're underestimating Regis a little bit, and I feel like he's gonna end up catching him slipping. But I definitely think it's gonna be a close fight, but I think Regis is gonna edge that one.
Decision in a
Yeah,
decision. It's
or maybe
interesting.
knockout. Maybe
Maybe a
knockout.
knockout, huh?
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because it seems like a lot of guys, and I guess it's all what you've done for me lately. Like you said, you use the Canelo example. They are basically, I mean, it seems like Devin took this fight based on just that one performance, his last performance at home. Everyone's pulling at him and things like that. So you think that's what's going on here?
Yeah, no, most definitely. And sometimes you understand it's not sometimes styles make fights too. Sometimes guys make you look worse than we should, and when you get in there with the top guys, it looks way different. So I never think, I would never underestimate somebody based on their last performance because, guys like I'll give you another example, Teofimo Lopez with Sander Martin, he looked horrible. But look what he did to Josh Taylor. So I think I think it's whoever comes out to be the better man that night. But if I had to put money on somebody, I would put it on Regis.
Wow. No. I mean, that's great perspective. And I was thinking about that because I think before that fight, there was no way Devin was getting in the ring with them. And then all of a sudden he was. So that's a great call out. Now you're fighting a guy who, you're fighting guys that are tough. I mean, 25-3, not 19 knockouts. What do you know about Jeremiah? And I'm not going to say his name right, but Nakathila. What do you know about him, and what does he bring to the table that is good experience for you to fight someone like him?
I've seen the couple of fights that he fought with Shakur. The victory got over Miguel Burchett. So I know that he's definitely got experience and he knows how to, compete with the top guys. He definitely has a little awkward style, kind of moving a little bit. He likes to throw off the jab, but I think his money punches his right hand. He likes to throw that a lot, and he hurts guys with those. So, to be able to kind of just offset him and throw him off of what he likes to do. Like I said, I know he has a lot of experience, so I want to be able to go there and kind of make him look, I guess, silly in a way, one-sided. I feel like me doing that would kind of show where I'm at skill-wise and why I belong there with the top guys, why they should be mentioning me with the top guys.
Were you surprised how one-sided the Canelo Jermell Charlo fight was?
I wasn't. I just thought Charlo was gonna put a little effort into it. For him to not do any effort, I feel like he would have been better off going out in the Shield than. I feel like he was just there to say that he didn't get knocked out by Canelo. Did I think it was gonna be one-sided? Yeah, but not like I didn't think that Charlo was just gonna be there to run all night and hold. That was a little disappointing.
Yeah, yeah, I was there, and yeah, a little bit more action would have been
Would have been
nice.
nice.
But Canelo looked good. I mean, to your point, like he goes from Ryder to Jermell Charlo, and he looks like a different fighter.
Exactly. So that's
Um,
why I would never underestimate no fighter, right? That's why I got Regis. I might even bet some money on that one. I think I might win some good money on that one.
Now, I don't know if this is true. I know Ryan Garcia has a comeback fight coming up here shortly, and then there was a talk about him fighting Teofimo early next year. If that happens, what do you think of that fight?
I think Teofimo wins that fight. I feel like Teofimo is a more complete skill fighter. And I think he's more athletic. I think Ryan maybe have the hand speed on him, but I think again, it all depends. Ryan's a good fighter. If he's really staying focused to his craft and disregarding all the social media that he's kind of used to been doing, kind of focusing on more on that, it could be a lot more competitive fight than I think it is. But yeah, I would bet money on Teofimo on that one.
I got one more for you. We just talked about Jermell Charlo, possibly going back down to 154. Tim Tszyu, he looks like a machine out there. Just took it to Brian Mendoza this past weekend. Just round by round broke him down. What if Jermell Charlo, Tim Tszyu fight? What do you think of that matchup?
I think I feel like that fight could very well go the same way as Canelo did, because I feel like Tim Suzuki comes forward, right? He's a power puncher. It could kind of go the same way, but I feel like Charlo won't respect his power as much as he did Canelo, because he went up from 154 168, right? So I feel like we might see a lot more competitive fight, and I think Charlo might be able to win that fight. I feel like this one he was just real gun shy to exchange with Canelo because he's a bigger man. So this one should be interesting. This one maybe that one's a real 50-50 one. It just depends how Charlo comes in. If he comes in like he did with Canelo, because I think Tim Tszyu is a real strong guy. He's gonna obviously come forward, putting the pressure like Canelo did. I'm sure he saw the same. He will try to do the same, implement the same thing Canelo did to get the victory, right? So it just really depends if Charlo shoots his punches back at him this time.
Real quick, what hat is that? Are you wearing who's your team?
This is an Ace hat.
Okay.
It's not my team. I just like the hat, but I think A's is that a baseball team?
The A's?
Is that the Oakland A's or my
Oakland A's? They're moving to Vegas though.
They're moving to Vegas. Yeah, I would say if any, I don't really watch baseball, but I would say I'm a Dodger fan. I mean, it's LA, so I got to. It would only be right.
I'm a Dodger fan, man, but since they're out and I live in Dallas, I'm rooting for the Rangers. But we'll talk baseball another day. What should we expect November 11th? Your fifth fight of 2023. Probably one of the most active, if not the most active fighter in boxing these days. What should we expect?
Expect a great fight. It's definitely a guy that's been there before, contested for a world title. So definitely expect a great fight. And I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna go there, get the victory, and I'm gonna do it in a spectacular fashion like I always do it. I'm definitely gonna go for the knockout. That's what fans at the end they want to see. They want to see obviously a lot of skills, but they want to see knockout fights, and that's what I'm planning to do. I'm training real hard, and you don't want to miss this fight. This is a fight that honestly is a TV worthy type of fight, and for it to be locally, everybody has to tune in.
All right, you heard it here. Tito Mercado, like I said, super lightweight, one of the young stars in boxing, 12-0, 11 knockouts. Got another fight November 11th at the Phoenix Center in Ontario, California, against Jeremiah Nakahila, 23-3, 19 knockouts. Man, it's great talking to you again, Tito. I love your makeup. I love, just how you present yourself, man. Wishing you the best of luck, and going to be watching you all the way to the world title.
I appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk again soon. Good luck.
Thank you.